Yo, what's up? This your Chrism. Hey, yo, I'm gonna tell y'all a few things about what not to do when you come to a professional studio, man. This is for all artists, R&B artists. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you do. These are the things that you don't do when you come to a studio, man. And I guarantee you, if you don't believe me, I see like 98.9% of engineers and producers will say the same thing. If they professional and they're in a professional record company, or they in a, you know what I'm saying, just a regular home-based studio, or not even just a home-based studio, or they just not known yet, I guarantee you. Number one, the thing is, do not put food and liquids and drinks by the equipment. Why? One spill will kill the thrill. That's what they always say, one spill will kill the thrill. What I mean is that once you spill something on the equipment based on it, especially if they got a mixer board, you know what I'm saying? You spill that liquid on the equipment, the shit is damaged. Do you got the money to pay for it? And now your time is being wasted. You can't get your job done as an artist. So, dude, that's really, out of all things I'm about to tell y'all, that's the number one thing. Do not put food and liquid by the equipment, period. Put that shit far away. Even me, look at me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm slipping. Most of the time I put it down here, I put it over there, I drop the shit down. You know what I'm saying? I don't put it by the equipment. Especially when I'm doing music, because what I do, I end up bumping this shit, spill the drink on my equipment myself. All right, number two, do not touch the equipment, bro. Do not touch the equipment. Don't start tweaking knobs and turning knobs and shit, because sometimes you'll mess up your own project. You know, a lot of people tell you this. You tweaking something, you don't know what you're doing. Now you don't know how to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? Now engineer like, what the fuck did you just do? You know what I'm saying? Do not touch the equipment if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Do not touch the equipment. Don't go in there, start tweaking stuff or feel the need. You can grab the mouse or go press some buttons and all that. You know what I'm saying? Unless the engineers say that it's okay for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Number three, egos. Listen to the engineer when he give you advice. Why? Because most engineers, this is what they do. They're not trying to tell you something they're trying to tell you something that's good for you. 9 times out of 10, they already know what you're trying to accomplish. Because real smart engineers, they're going to ask you what you're trying to do. Now, even if you and the engineer is not on the same page, but one thing I can say, most engineers have one thing in common. They have to organize their music, so they have to record it a certain way and they have to break it down a certain way. Why? It's because, one, when it comes time to mix and master it, it make the job easy. You know what I'm saying? And make everything organized. You know what's important, so files don't get lost. Number two, it'll help you as an artist, because maybe you want to get your music mixed and mastered at another location. So based on how you record it, it make it easy for him to break everything down to give to you. Because if you record it in a difficult way and just confusing way, nonsense, they probably charge you for that shit. If they got to organize everything for you to give you all your files, man. Number four, stick with your hours. Whatever hours you agreed to when you get there, before you came to the studio, whatever hours you book, stick with that. Don't sit there sitting around once you're done with your hours. You know what I'm saying? You know it's time up, and you sitting there like 30 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? And when the engineers say, "Oh well, that's extra money," now you be like, "Oh well, I didn't know." No, be professional. Stick with your hours. The engineer already know what hours you book. He ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to sit there and try to think you running game on him, talk about, just sit there trying to think you can keep recording with him and not keeping it real with your hours, then that's your bad communication. And that's not saying you probably don't want to deal with you no more because you don't know how to be professional. Now it's cool to communicate with him because he might have, first of all, he might have another artist that might need to come at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? Or if he don't, communicate with him. You know what I'm saying? Make another deal. He might do it for free. He might do it cheaper. Who knows? But don't sit here and try to get some extra hours in on some sucker shit thinking that you getting over the engineer when he talking about you got to pay this extra money. Now you all mad, got a duck face. You know what I'm saying? So know your hours, man. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when you call the engineer, you already booked your time. Know your hours. You know what I'm saying? Number 5, this shit is very annoying. Do not stand over the engineer, man. You breathing down all his neck and shit. You standing over him looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Sit your ass down, man. Sit in the chair just close or something. That's why they normally set everything up. You know what I'm saying? So you can be in position so you don't breathe all him. They got to be comfortable. They got to be in their element, in their space. And you taking up that space because you breathing all down him trying to see what he's doing. Even if you see what he's doing, at least give him space. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have certain chairs at a certain distance or everything set a certain way. I know I do. Don't be down the engineer's neck, man, his back. Trying to see or trying to figure out what he's doing or trying to make sure he's doing it the right way. Look, you should, you know, he already know what he's doing. That's what he do. All right, number 6, man, this kills me. Don't bring your whole high school to the damn engineers to the studio. You bring your whole school, the whole neighborhood, the whole motherfucking hood. All right, that's cool. You know, first of all, it's better not to bring 1,000. It's good to have people in the studio with you that motivates you, especially girls. You know what I'm saying? Or one of your homies. But most of the time, you want to bring the people that's recording. Because when you bring a bunch of people in the studio, they're giving a million and one opinions, slowing your process down. You the one paying for the time. So at the whole time you sitting there, you know, everybody giving you 1,000 opinions, you slowing your clock down, trying to figure out what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So don't bring a million people to the studio, especially if they're not doing no music, man. You know what I'm saying? If you do, communicate with the engineer who you bringing or what can you bring. You know what I'm saying? That's professional, man. Keep it professional. Number 7, you already knew your hours, man. Like I was saying earlier, don't sit here talking about, oh, I didn't know what time it was when he charged you more money because you've been here 30 minutes to an hour. Know your hours. Most engineers will let you know what time you're starting and what time, when your time is coming up. They'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? But some artists be trying to run games. So be professional with that, man. That's how you build good, strong relationships with people and artists, man. And you don't want to build bad relationships with people because nobody ain't gonna want to fuck with you because it's gonna be word of mouth. Number 8, don't bring your kids. Don't bring your crying ass kids that's slowing up the process, all crying and everything, man. Every studio is different. Unless the studio have, a quiet room, a kid's room. You know what I'm saying? Unless the studio got a kid's room. That's why you ask for those type of things. Ask. You got a kid's room or whatever. Somebody watching your kids, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time, when you got kids' rooms and everything, that come with a price. So that means that most of the time you're going to pay more money for studio time. And you thinking that it comes with, you thinking because of the recording? No, it's because of the whole package of everything that's built inside the studio, everything that's come with the studio, from the red light, from the soundproof rooms, to the dope bathrooms, to the smoke room, to everything that's built to make it comfortable for your artists. They charge you for all this shit, even if you don't use it. So you get this quality. So you got to pay quality money. You know what I'm saying? All right, number 9. Don't think you could just smoke inside the studio. Some engineers don't like what the fuck you smoking. Some of them don't like that weed shit. Some of them don't like that cigarette shit. Some engineers maybe got an area where you can smoke at. Ask for those requirements. Ask, can you do that? But don't just pull out your nut ass cigarettes, you know what I'm saying, with your coke in it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck you got in your weed, you know what I'm saying, or some crazy ass, smelly ass cigarettes and start puffing and think somebody want to smell that shit. Nobody don't want to die quick like you do. Most people accept weed because weed, like, I mean, I'm cool with the weed because I like the way weed smell. I used to smoke weed myself, but the cigarette shit ain't with it. There ain't nobody smoking cigarettes around me. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't expect you pulling out all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Now drinking, that don't affect nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can pull out your bottle, do what you do. Get it, because I understand every artist gotta get in their mode. They gotta get in their mode, they groove, you know what I'm saying, to get in their bag, to do their music. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the same way when I'm in sessions and everything. Number 10. And this is really number 1. Be on time. Be on time. The time that you say you coming, be there. I'm trying to tell you. Rappers and singers, y'all got this one thing y'all gotta understand, man. It's 90% business and 10% music.